Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Thursday, September the 29th. And yesterday we were tying the Bitcoin into the banks, and I kind of want to do that again actually today. So let's have a look at Goldmans first, and well, let's just put this. I think it was on 10,000 ticks or something here. For the 10,000 ticks is a little bit like the daily chart. So I mean, the thing is all markets, not all markets, but most markets are sort of moving in the same sort of direction, and you know, the Nasdaq is doing this particular pattern as well here. So the banks are quite central to any bear market really, because normally it's the banks that would lead out of a sort of recession because they're supplying the money, you know. So it's either a shortage of money or a flood of money and that type of thing. So, you know, banks are important in that instance. So with Goldmans and the other banks, and that we're basically looking at, we've had a rally in three waves to the upside. Now, not all the banks have gone this high. This is basically where the S&P 500 went into the 50-60% sort of retracement level. So I'm thinking that we've got this first leg here, we have a correction, and then we have another leg of about the same degree, which will bring us down just above the 200 area here for this, and would have much the same sort of leg over here. There's always a relationship between A and C. And in that case, if we've got the B here, we would be looking at wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 3, 4, and 5 coming down. Okay, so that's how that would sort of play out. And in that playing out, we're looking at this 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5 here for 1, and then back for 2 here, and then down for 3. So this is where I think that Ethereum and Bitcoin would play out. So currently we're doing this little fourth wave here, and then we'll have a fifth wave down here, and then we'll have an ABC pattern here, and then we'll go down again from that point. So when we look at that on the well, let's just dart around here a little bit. So this this rally, and then down, and then up, and then down, that would be a bit like, I'm looking at Ethereum here at the moment. So with Ethereum here, we can look at that up, down, and then a correction back up, and then down at that point. So that would leave this one over here. If I just bring them in together a little bit, it'll make it a little bit easier. So this rally that's happening here is this little rally here that we've got here. Then we'll come down for this here, which will be this wave 1. In this case, we'll have 5 waves down for this wave 1. Then we'll have an ABC back, and then down again at that point. So then we would come down at that point, hit that long-term trend line through here, and also the 61.8%. And look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then an ABC, and then down again at that point. Okay, so and Bitcoin, while we're just here, we're looking at these bigger charts, looking at the same thing. So we're in a bit of a rally from wave 4 here. We look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming down. So coming to the old low here, and then having a correction back as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave for wave 2 into the 61.8%, and then move down at that point. So that would be looking at this all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as 1 and 2 here. The other way that we could count this is we're still in wave 4 here. I don't think it's the case where we've got an A wave here, a B wave over here, and a C wave up for wave 4 and down. I don't think it's like that. I think that this is you know, developing into a wave 1 here and 2. It's a little bit difficult. We, you know, on the, what about if I was totally wrong? Well, then if I was totally wrong with everything, then we would, and it's important to look, you know, if you're going to short a market, you want to know what the long side is. So we could look at this as wave 1 here, and then wave 2 at this point, right? That would be, and we just, we couldn't break this low here. Oh, I suppose we could have one more low in here, I guess. And for Ethereum, we would need to look at this as wave 1 here and wave 2. Well, I wouldn't want to see this low broken here, because that would basically destroy this being a C wave, because I'm looking for 5 waves here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So really that needs to stay in place here for this. So, and then go up from that point. And then that means that the banks over here, then the banks would need to be viewed as being up for wave 1 at this point. So I would probably have to come over to this point and look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 up here, and then back for wave 2 at this point. So if I was totally wrong, that would be the case. So I will keep an eye on that, and I don't mind being wrong, and being right's okay as well, but I don't get high off being right. I mean, what I'm after at the end of the day is I'm trying to work out where the next trend is going to go and what would be the setup for that, so I can make money out of that. It's that simple. Nothing else. Everything else is just in noise. Pictures, emotions, all of that. We're not interested in any of that. So just staying on point is what we really want. So I do need to look at both sides of the market, and we can do that. In this particular instance here, let's just go drill into the intraday from 10,000 ticks to 10 ticks, and we'll pick it up from maybe wave 2 here. So we've got wave 1 down here and wave 2 here. And don't forget that you know, even though I'm using the banks here, all these turning dates are the same as Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So we're not that far off. So what we're looking for here is that we'd been looking for wave 3 low, now we've got it in, and now we're looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. So that means Bitcoin and Ethereum will be doing the same, basically the same thing here in their own way, you know, because when I draw something like this, that means that, well, Apple's going to be doing that, and Nvidia is going to be doing that, and Berkshire Hathaway is going to do that, but they're all going to do it in their own way with their own personality. So some will stretch out, some will shrink up, all of that, and some will be distorted, and some will be perfect counts, but this is the consensus that we need to be working with. So we'll take this particular pattern here, and this is the one that we need to work with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So pretty much a little 3-wave move and then down. So if we get that, then that becomes a bit interesting at that point, isn't it? And then we'll be looking down here as wave 1, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here, and ABC back for wave 2 in this case. So we can look back for wave 2. So if all goes according to plan, we'll be looking to trade this leg down here. This is what we've been trading this leg down, but we'll be looking to trade this one down, and we'll trade this one down as well. But this is a bigger story here for this. So yeah, so taking that on board. So this 5 waves down from the top here, and then coming back for wave 2 here, would be Bitcoin coming in here, looking at this down here as 5 waves down here. I've got it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a bit jammed up, but I would call that all wave 1 at that point, and then come back for the ABC for 2, and then come down at that point. So yeah, you know, this, but going back to the positive side, this being 1 here and 2 here is good as long as that low stays in place. Technically that's it, you know, 1 point below that and it's over at that stage. So, you know, I don't want to be sold on any particular thing. I'm just, like I said, I'm just looking for that setup. So as far as Bitcoin goes, we'll be looking for a move down. It's got a little bit more to do in here, as I just mentioned with Goldman. So we'll see that move up and then down and up and then down, making a new low below here. So Bitcoin should do the same and come down and test that this low here as this move. So it needs to do needs to do this and then down at that point, right? So I won't go into the intraday at the moment for that, and then we're looking for an ABC pattern here for this. So it's probably not this one, but that's been handy there to have. This is a long-term trend line down from the top, so that's going to be a little bit important as well. So yeah, we can put this over here. we'll keep the B wave here for a moment as an A and a B and a C wave up here, because that would be the next logical one to take. But I can't see if the banks and the tech stocks, if they're all going to be moving lower, then this Bitcoin and Ethereum will come with it as well. So in this instance here, we're looking for it to fluff around in here a little bit, then drop down for this wave 1 here, go back for wave 2. So fluffing around in here and then going back will be the same here, fluffing around here, dropping here, and then doing this, and then doing this. So it's a bit of a pathway. It's not that sort of simple. If I go to, so here we'll be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here. So we're in a little fourth wave here at the moment. And if we go to 5K tick here, let's bring in a bit more data. Is 5 enough? Okay, so from this top here as, excuse me, as wave 4 here is 1, 2, 3, and then 4 here. So while this is doing a little, see how that's moved up there? Let's just open that up a little bit. And so as that's moved up here, that's the same as this moving up here, right? It's the same thing. So it'll top out here and pull back and then move up here and then move down. It's the same pattern, a zigzag, a 5-3-5 structure for that. It might get a bit more complicated, so I don't even know if that top's in there yet, but whatever, an A, B, C here for that. And then that would make, you know, this is all pretty complicated across here. So when you don't know what the pattern is, then it's likely to be a wave 4. So I could look at this, I could count this in different ways, to be honest. I haven't really worried about it. That's the low. This is a corrective pattern. It's got overlapping wave structures, and we could look at it as a triangle, or we could go into WXYs, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to be looking at this, and this, and then down, and this is our 38-point target area for this particular wave 4. So we'll drop down to, look, maybe we'll get to 1,000, maybe we'll just get to you know, 100 here, but we'll look for 5 waves down here, and then we're going to be looking for a bigger move to the upside here. And then we'll be looking for a move to the downside. So look, it's a pretty, you know, complicated pattern moving through all of this, but yeah, look, I just think that I need, you know, because if I don't tie this in with the rest of the global markets, then I feel like I don't have any foundation for anything. I feel like I'm just getting into the guessing game with Elliott, you know, chucking 10 Elliotticians into a room and coming out with 100 answers or no answers, and everybody's got no idea of what's going on. So I think that I'm happy with what I've got at this stage. I don't see any sort of trade setups in here for Ethereum and all the rest of it at this point. If Ethereum, if I did all this wrong and this is a low in here, and we go straight up through here, well, I'd still need a really good impulse wave to the upside and a pullback before I could look at being you know, bullish in this market. I understand we could look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down to here, and stretch it out, maybe even stretch it out a little bit further, but you know, you can't go too much further, because, you know, Bitcoin, wherever that is here, you know, it's pretty close to its old low over here anyway. So coming down and touching on here is really going to sort of put a lot of pressure on this being wave 1 here and wave 2, because, you know, if Ethereum, for example, is going to be wave 1 and wave 2, just coming into the daily chart here for a moment, you know, if this is going to be wave 1 and wave 2 here, well, it's not going to do it without Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin's got to do it as well. So if that's going to drop that far down here, well, then on Bitcoin, that's going to, you know, it only needs to move by here by a point, and then it invalidates that being wave 1 here. So it's possible we got wave 1 and 2 here, but it doesn't really give me a nice 5-wave structure here. But I could live with that because Ethereum's got a better 5-wave structure. But I have to go with the where the big money is, you know. So yeah, We'll see. Anyway, look, it's for a while. It's not going to be simple. It's still going to be a very complex situation coming through here. We're not, we're not in a trend at the moment, and it's very busy and very choppy. So I just think chill, stand back, and let's just keep sort of, refining what we're doing and moving forward. Yeah, I mean, any trends that are going to come in the bigger picture will be on the downside, will be this leg here, and that's really the one that we want. And if the banks play ball and we get that with the banks of 4 and 5 here, and then the ABC here, and we're over this side, well, then all the markets are going to be coming on this side. They'll all be going, the tech stocks, everything will be coming down on this side. Not everything. There's a few stocks out there doing different things, but that's the consensus of the market. The banks are the capital, the heart of the situation at the moment. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. That's my 2 cents worth. So something to chew on. Alrighty, cheers.